Bum,
No,
bada
no,
bum
no,
bum
no,
bum
no,
bum bum,
no.
bada bum 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 bum. We are on the show. We don't have a Joe. Joe, Scandrick. Oh, you know what I haven't done while we're live on this podcast? I'm just gonna like promote this podcast on my Instagram.
Oh shit.
I forgot to do that.
So
So yeah, just bear with me. Jarran, what have you been up to for the last 24 hours while I do this?
I set up a Christmas tree.
No
'Cause
way. I've been meaning to do that. We want to get like a pine tree so we have the nice pine smell and all the needles on the floor.
yeah,
Did you get a
fuck
real one?
that. No. I spent as little money as possible on the cheapest plastic tree, like from the reject shop. I
Bro,
was
you
like,
are super impressive.
yeah, dude. I go hard on that. No, basically, my girlfriend's from Vietnam, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna do Christmas. Like I think she's done about 14 Christmases beforehand, but
And she's not 14, is she?
she is not a 14-year-old Vietnamese girl. Funnily enough, like
You're a
don't put it
terrible
past
person,
me,
man.
but you know, no. So basically, she just wanted to do like fucking Western Christmas experience.
Yeah, hectic. Well, that
So
sounds fun.
I got a tree, I got some tinsel, I got a stupid little star on top. We're just having a ball basically.
Well,
Set it
man,
up.
that's pretty
Like
Christmassy. I mean, it is Christmas right around the corner, isn't it?
yeah, I
So
found
only two
myself
weeks left
getting
this year.
yeah, that's kind of screwed up. What
Hmm.
I found myself getting really stressed out in like just shopping. I'm like, wait. This is supposed to be fun. Supposed to have fun doing Christmas stuff, so just stop being an angry old man and just be fun.
Bro, you fit the definition of like, what's that guy? Not Scrooge McDuck. Fucking hell.
The Grinch.
Um, the guy with
The
the Christmas and
Grinch?
no, the other guy. And he goes
Oh,
back in time with the past, present, and future without
yeah,
Christmas, and then he's like, "Oh, I need
um,
Christmas."
um,
It's really famous.
he's not really famous. Michael
Famous tale.
Caine. Michael Caine. His name's Michael
That's
Caine.
the actor who plays the guy in the Muppets movie that I'm referring to. Obviously, my life is just a bunch of Muppet movie references. At
It's
this stage.
Scrooge. It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
There
Jesus
we
Christ,
go.
I was right. Not Scrooge McDuck, but very close.
I'm pretty sure they
Ebenezer
would have
Scrooge,
got
yeah,
Scrooge McDuck from Ebenezer Scrooge.
You
Just
are
quietly.
like 100% Ebenezer Scrooge, mate. Like textbook.
Bah humbug.
Humbug,
Oh,
indeed.
No, I would not have even celebrated Christmas if it wasn't for my girlfriend. I'd just be like, whatever, another day. Let's go do some stuff.
Hmm. I'm doing a 12-day giveaway on my Instagram for Christmas.
Oh, so tell me
On
about
the
this.
12th day of Christmas, I true love.
Have you
I
been?
gave away a bunch of laptop cases, and I don't do the music. That's why Jarran does the music.
Why do you have like wind noise?
Oh, I've got a fan blowing on me because, like,
Oh,
just
fuck's
wanted to
sake.
get that allure in that fan. Give me 1 sec.
I
I'll
was
adjust.
trying to figure that out. I'm like,
Let me talk to my fans.
Is- is there a
that better?
train?
Is that better?
Nope.
Well-
No, wait. Did it go away? Yeah, it's okay now. It's
Okay, I
okay.
just blocked it with the laptop. Ta-da!
Wow,
Magic cinema.
you're a technological super genius.
So, for those of you who are here, you get a
So
little
when did it
sneaky-
start? When
It
did
started yesterday,
All right.
as we are now 11 days away from Christmas, or 12 days away from Christmas, whichever
fucking
time zone
serious?
you're in and watching this.
Dude.
Yeah, it's around the corner.
Whoa.
So, yeah, Saturday devised the idea and has been contacting people and brands to get it all happening. The first giveaway, which is running currently, so if you go to my Instagram, follow Subtech Sports, follow me, and tag 2 people in the comments, you could win, and 12 people could win a brand new Kevlar, and it's not bulletproof, I don't think, but it is water-resistant laptop case. Not bulletproof, but
Oh,
it is
yes.
Kevlar. So it's actually really sick. I definitely use it because I bash the shit out of my stuff. when I carry it around. I just like throw my bags down and stuff. So it's important for me to have something that's really going to protect my laptop when I'm using it out on the go. It's like I'm so rough with stuff, man.
Yeah,
Everything everything I own has cracks.
that is true.
And then yeah, so for you sneak exclusive people who are here after the podcast, I'll be posting the next giveaway, which will be Motus tracksuit pants, Motus cargo pants. Sorry, so they've just released their cargo pants, and you'll be 11 people will have the opportunity to win a pair of cargo pants.
11 people.
Yes, so we're doing 12 winners on the first day, 11 on the second day, 10 on the day after, working our way down to the one on the day before Christmas.
You got 11 pairs of Modus cargo pants?
Yep.
Dude.
Yes.
What?
12 including the pair for myself, thank you, Giles and Modus.
Are they like storage style with the like high
You can
pocket?
go and check them out on the website and bring them up for people. So they are
Man.
similar to their old design of cargo pants. I'd say more similar to the second model. So the second model had like a Velcro strap at the bottom that was like an ankle tightener. I don't know if these pair consist of the same. The pocket design is very similar, so it's on the side of the legs like classic cargo pants. And I'm yet to receive them to test the material. I did really, really like the material of the army cargo pants that they had on the first release. So they had like these camo print cargo pants, and they were just so comfortable, man. I literally wore them until they tore off me.
Camo print. Oh.
Yeah.
For a second,
But it was like a subtle camo print. So those two at the front there, those are the ones that people can win, the beige and the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. No, they're not higher. What? I thought you said camel print.
No, camo print.
Yep.
That's just my Australian nasalness coming through.
Yep. I don't know. I'm having a day.
Yeah. No, that's all right. You're old. You have to have a nap before because of your headache.
Dude, I did. No, I've stopped drinking coffee. It's killing me.
Oh, the terror, the hardship.
Dude, have you done that?
What? Stop drinking coffee? Yeah, I have.
Stop drinking caffeine.
Yeah, I have multiple days. I go like multiple days on end, like probably bi-weekly, depending on like my training cycle. So often, and then if I just like run out of coffee in the morning, I'll just go without. If I don't have any at home, I'll just go without.
What about Red Bull?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, so if I'm not training, I'll like, unless I'm doing something active or like, want to be proactive, I'm not drinking Red Bull. I'd use Red Bull to fuel my training mostly. Like 95% of my intake is on the way to training and then during the first like half hour of training. And then if I'm having a really long day, I might have one really later in the day. So it's like more like 2 small cans early and then like maximum 3 per day. And I just use it with water in the middle and like really try to like maximize the Red Bull energy for the training and try and like really get firing off that as opposed to using some other like sort of pre-workout mix or anything like that. The caffeine gives me enough. And then yeah, if I'm not training, I barely drink caffeine. Like it's not like it depends on the day really, but for like this, I don't think I have to have it every day for sure. I definitely have like days off where I just don't consume it because I'm doing like if I'm doing any sort of work on set, I usually don't drink any caffeine.
Damn. All right. Well, then it's just me. As you know, with most things, if I'm in on it, I'm definitely in on it. So
yeah,
I drink a lot of coffee or none
big
at all.
commitment guy. Gotta go 100.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm not a commitment guy in the sense of going 100 with the commitment level, but if I do things, I do them to 100. So like if I drink caffeine, I'll drink like Red Bull and like 2 cups of coffee, or like, you know what I mean? Like I'll just ham it out when I'm doing it. And like if I have a cup of coffee at home, it's like a big shovel of coffee into the cup. It's not like a little teaspoon. It's like I get like a tablespoon and just fill it up and then I put that there. Yeah. So I'm not trying to claim that I'm healthy by saying I don't drink caffeine every day. I drink caffeine all the fucking time, and like in excess when I do. But I'm able to stop without feeling withdrawals. I've noticed, which is good.
Well, la-dee-da.
Actually, I think there was a jump this week. No, I mean, okay, so I can tell you about it, but you can't see it because it's So I've got a clip that will be the first clip that I post on my Patreon, which is me just stomping a massive double side, like probably the highest double side I've seen. If you're really into the game, you might have seen it on Kudori's story. But yeah, so that day I went out, zero caffeine, had like a full training session, and then yeah, didn't drink caffeine throughout the rest of the day. Just because, like again, we didn't stop at a shop to get Red Bull on the way, and I didn't have any at home, and I was out of coffee, so it just, you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't feel any worse. I'd say it's like the highest double side I've ever stomped. Like it was a really good training session. And like before that, we're doing shit. But like, yeah, I don't think for me, it's like a necessity as much as I use it as a tool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I get that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not claiming to be a healthy guy out here. I eat shit all the time. I got a cupcake half eaten sitting right next to me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Are you still on your meat pie game?
Oh nah, man, my meat pie game is not as strong as it used to be. I've definitely dipped in the meat pie intake. Uh, I feel like I've gotten more into my scheduled meals recently, as far as dietary. Like I'm having a solid lunch and a solid dinner every day, and then in between that, just like fluids, like mostly water. Um, but I don't feel like I need a lot to run Dom. And also think it's for me, it's a little bit inefficient to run me on lots of food because as long as I get enough and the balanced intake, then my motors are kicking over fine. I've got enough energy to do everything. But I do notice if like I skip lunch by 5, I'm fucked and I can't do anything. So I'm gonna have to make sure I eat at that like 2 to 4 time slot every day to get the best output. Yeah.
So
How
let
boring are
me
diets?
tell you
What a
this.
boring subject. I'm so sorry.
How's that a boring subject? Learning about your food intakes? Oh, dumb. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, we have Joe Scandrett coming on the
No way.
podcast.
No way. He's actually awake. Classic Joe Scandal. 15 minutes late for the episode. Classic. Couldn't have done it better, Joe.
Has he messaged you saying he's awake now?
Oh, yeah, no, I thought that was you announcing that he'd like clicked a link.
Oh, no. He's not here yet. I was
Oh,
announcing that we were
for
having Joe
I got
Scandrett.
excited. Yeah.
No.
So I mean, look, here is me sending Joe all of the things. He says he's active today. So ideally, that will happen. But I wouldn't hold your breath because unreliable Joe probably missed his flight somewhere.
Why did I put the name on the show then?
Well, I mean,
He was
because that's
supposed to
how
come
Joe
on.
rolls.
All right.
Really, if you're gonna love all the parts of Joe, you got to take all the parts of Joe as well.
How many flights has Joe
Missed.
yeah.
Well, that's a question for him because I could exaggeratedly say I think it's over 20, but I might not even be exaggerating. Like, my God, if we count like international buses as well, geez, he's well into the 20s, mate.
Wow.
I personally have only missed one flight ever, and to me personally, I don't think it was due to my error. I arrived there with an hour and a half to spare, and that's what they'd recommend. So, yeah, like an hour and a half till my flight took off, and then they closed the gate half an hour before, and they didn't serve me the whole time. But yeah, I've just not been someone to miss flights. I don't know. I don't like. It feels like it's too important. Maybe because we fly from Australia, and so like flying seems so much more like of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like, and it's not even that. Like then when I get local flights, and also I think manners as well, because if somebody else is paying for it, holy shit, there's no chance I'm going to miss that and make them pay more money. Like, that's a bad move on my part. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be
That
responsible
guy.
guy. They're like, he made his flight. He's okay. I didn't like him the whole time he was here, but I'm glad he made his flight. It's probably the most valid Dom response.
Oh yes. All right. So I
Oh
hear that
yes.
there are storms up in your way. So did you go training? Have you been training?
So it was like patchy rain all day. I got to get in a really good session with at little ankle on Instagram, little.ankle. Kian.
Little
He's
ankle, like
little,
little, as in
like
like
he's
a
got a
rap
small
name.
ankle.
So it's little ankle.
At little ankle on Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, we just had like a mini, like literally like a half-hour session, where like the floor was a bit dry, and so we just like went out and hit a wall, did some good stuff. It was nice just to like get out and run off some steam. But mate, I'm too bloody sore to be. Click that middle one.
Middle or down?
Either. They're both good. Oosh.
Down.
Boom. Yeah. So he's been training for like 10 years, and he's like really, really competent with his technique stuff. So we've been like pushing his size, like pushing him to push his size recently. And it's great having like just, a fresh style. I'd say his style is like kind of similar to Josh from Story in a way. Like he's always looking for that like innovative, less impactful route where it's just like useful landscaping.
Yep.
Landscaping. Yeah, we did this like Jackie Chan tic tac and stuff today, which was cute. I'll post it on my story later. But I'd be so sore, bro. My like hips and my glutes have just been super overloaded, and so I haven't been able to like go full dom. But actually, this is a good chance to probably explain. I don't know if you know, but definitely my viewers probably don't know. You out there, hi guys. I have this year kind of structured my training slightly as much as I can structure anything into what, like I would say, like as a monthly cycle. So I'll fluctuate like to like 3-4 days on, 3-4 days off hard, 3-4 days on, 3-4 days off hard. But then on usually the first 3-4 days of the month, I try to go in pretty hard, and like I've got like if I've got ideas, I usually try to pop them at the start of the month because then I get them out of the way, and then like on the lay low, and then the second rise. Even if I'm doing good shit, I'm still usually like a little bit worn, a little bit torn. So I'll go medium hard on that second wave up, and then on the third wave up, I'll try and go really hard again, and then ride that out for a bit longer. And then on the last week of the month, I'll try and kind of like just kind of bank my motivation and hunger as much as I can to start the next month again. So I really really dial off at the back of the months, because I'm spending more time editing, of course, and also just trying to use that cycle to really get the most progress and performance out of my training.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been actually working really well for me. It's not as structured like number wise as I say. It's usually very much done on temperament, but it's a conscious effort to kind of cycle my training myself instead of having it dictated by body soreness or injury or anything else that might put me out of training. And also like if I've got like a day where I'm doing some acting on set or something like that, I really use that as an opportunity to like as much as I can spend the day doing rehab. So even when I'm like sitting side stage or anything, I'll be doing stretches, squats, blah 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 blah, just getting out as much tension as I can over that extended period of time. So yeah, I think I've been very fortunate that I haven't had any like major injuries. I've had I think 3 notable injuries.
What was your
So I
best
hurt my
this
ankle.
year? What was your best this year? The ankle?
No, I would say my left wrist was the worst. So in July, I did a side flip to an electricity box. I didn't really think about how I was going to land, so I just kind of flew off the other side, and like I landed like this on a gutter. So like this is the corner of the gutter. I like wait, how do I land up? Yes, I landed like this, and then like put my hand down into the other part of the gutter like that. So it just like took full force, and so that was like really sore for like 2 months. I couldn't actually like use it properly, and then from there it was the process of like now it's okay to do handstands, but I still don't think I can walk on my hands properly because it's a strain to do that. So that's still like lingering even now. But I did my ankle in January. Yeah, end of January.
Because I was there. What
Yeah.
movie did we go and see? When you rocked up to the cinema, you just screwed your ankle up?
Oh yeah. I don't know what movie we saw.
I'm sure it wasn't good then.
No, it had to be a Marvel one because that's sort of our usual thing. Or was it Star Wars?
Oh, that's where I've seen Star Wars. See, I
Yeah, I
tried
think
to
it was
watch
the last
Star Wars
Star Wars.
again. I tried to watch it again. I'm like, I haven't seen this. I missed the last Star Wars. I got like 10 minutes in. I'm like, wait, I've seen this. This sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that lines up chronologically, but I know we definitely did go to see the last Star Wars together because I was like making a big song and dance about it.
Then
But
that's what it was.
yeah, so that was an actually I did a big gap, just cooked my ankle a bit. Then I did my wrist, and now I'm struggling to remember what that third injury was, but I feel like it was the most recent one. Oh, yeah, so I overloaded my hip, and this one didn't really fuck me up that bad. It just was annoying. Was I like did a jump and my foot slid out at the start of October, on the 1st of October, and like then I like jarred my knee a little bit, and so my hip was like overloaded and really tight, and that like took a whole month to stop hurting. Like every time I'd sit down, I would start to feel a pull, which is all like it's all manageable, but it was just definitely like a notable thing injury wise.
You got a hernia.
Oh no, that was not even a hernia. Trust me, it was just like a extension or something. But yeah, see, I forgot about that because that's just like one day I was doing training without warming up, and I did like a handspring movement, and it just stretched and something popped.
Yeah,
But it was
true.
just a minor tear.
You'd know about that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a
yeah,
hernia.
for sure. It's not a hernia. That was just panicking. Um, like, oh my god, what is this? You've just torn your abdominal, buddy. Calm down. Um, but yeah, so that's it. So all year, I haven't had like a super big fail or a super like I wouldn't say it's a big fail. I've had a few, but I haven't had a massive injury. I actually had over 100 fails. I was cataloging them just in my phone, and I know that's not all of them because I got heaps on the vlogs, like almost one per vlog. So that's like another 100 fails there. So I have like I've failed over 200 times this year, definitely.
good good
Yeah, that's
times.
almost one a day. I'm getting there.
That would be pretty good. Like being able to say like King of Fails 365.
Yeah, but I don't want to fail that much. I'm happy with the ratio as it is. I was impressed that it was that many. I didn't think it was that many. I don't feel like I failed as much this year, and I definitely haven't hurt myself as much. So that's like 10-10 for 2020.
Oh,
10-10 for 2020, yo. Bang, bang. Just made that up on the spot. You guys can have that. Take that home. Write it down. Hashtag it. 10-10 for 2020. That's just because no one else thinks this year is 10-10. But you know what? I just think every year is 10-10. Life is just 10-10, bro. And that's not mistaking 10-10 with Tintin, the comic strip.
did you how did you even get there?
By continuing to talk and not really thinking about what was coming out.
Dude, you just like
I went there, bro.
went on a fucking path there.
Like, okay, so because Joe hasn't come yet, I'm still going to pitch the audience to ask questions, but I want you to ask questions either A, that I can answer as Joe, or B, something that you want to know from me about Joe. So then we can still feature Joe in his own little way. And even if he shows up for the last 5 minutes, then it's funny because yeah. I was just writing his name repetitively. Ho. I wrote Ho,
Alright.
like H-O-E, and it changed it to Joe. Fair enough.
So if you didn't catch that, ask some questions that Dom can answer as Joe, or if Joe gets on the podcast, he will also answer.
And also, everybody watching the podcast, I mean, all three of you, if you also could just go and message, just inbox Joe and just say, wake up, bro, or like podcast, bro, or something. It'd be really funny to spam him because he deserves it. Because this one I definitely organized with him and I definitely did my part to line up the timing because I didn't do that with Ed for so long. That was all on me. This one's not on me. This is fucking Joe, bro. And when he comes on the show, I'm going to abuse him. Yeah. It's been over a year since I've actually been in his presence, and it's
Literally?
depressing. Yeah.
Dude.
Basically, our interactions are, when are you coming to England? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, whatever, when are you coming to England? I'm like, but he's like, yeah, but when are you coming to England?
Damn.
Yeah.
So you haven't
'Cause,
been to England in over a year now.
Now over a year, yeah. So I left like 2nd of December last year. And then the last time I went overseas was March 14th, I think I got back.
Damn.
Yeah, so almost a year of like being in Australia.
Pe-
It's been not that bad, honestly. I'm not one of those people to prattle on about how like life's changed so much, and it's like, dude, like for me, well, this is because I'm a simplistic guy. Though obviously, I can understand other people have serious change and serious things going on. I'm not downplaying their things, just talking about my shit because I'm narcissistic. No, but I'm like, for me, the simplistic nature of like, do I get to continue to jump on walls day to day? That thing was still there, and that's what makes me happy at the end of the day. So, COVID didn't really gut punch me the way that it did many people.
Oh, it would have screwed you up in other parts of the world.
100%, 100%. If I was locked down, I literally couldn't go outside, which multiple people did go through, and I was fortunate enough not to have to experience this year, like quarantine of any sort. Um, yeah, my sympathy goes out to those people for sure, man. Any of you that spent multiple days or multiple weeks inside, big love, big respect for what you did for the world. Because fortunately, Sydney didn't have any restrictions when we were stuck in the house, and like I personally would have struggled, would have really struggled
I don't think that Russians would have
indoors.
much of a problem.
Well,
I,
I've seen, yeah, like I've seen like tricking gatherings at gyms and stuff. Well, I mean, I've been starting to see like more congregations of people, like jams and stuff like that, totally be more apparent now. And it's hard to kind of keep up with what countries have what kind of situations and what do you call that? Guidelines, not
yeah.
guidelines, restrictions, something like that. All of those things. Hard to keep up with individual country has which. Like, is London still in lockdown? I'd be able to ask Joe, but he's not here.
Well, uh, there's a bunch of people on the chat that have spammed him. So,
Good. Thank you.
uh,
Hopefully he'll click the link.
so from what I understand, they're in a weird tiered system where, yeah, I don't even get it. There's a tiered system, and some people can go to the pubs and some can't. That's all the information I
Basically,
have.
yeah, if you know a guy who knows a guy, you can get yourself down a pub, have a pint, see the boys.
I think
It's all
that's all
good.
some people
But
care
if you
about.
don't know the guy, if you don't know Barry from fucking logistics, then you don't have a shot in hell, mate. Honestly, yeah. Do your best.
Oh, so
Oh,
there's a guy writing in caps. He says, "No, England's out of the lockdown, but in a tier system." All right, so they're out of the lockdown, but they're in a tier system.
you were correct in your presumptions, Jarran.
No,
Well
I
done.
still have no idea what that means, but I'm guessing it is Jan, because he probably is the one that has the free running schlappen thing. But he says that
Yeah.
Germany is in a lockdown again.
Oh, what? For
Yeah,
reals?
yeah.
That's not cool. How dares he? I thought that, is that the end of the one that they just re-began? And also with that, what is the policies there? Because I believe that they're allowed to still go out in partners to do exercise, which is I think that's like, if there's a way where you can give access to your citizens to like at least go out as even individually into the sunshine and do some form of exercise, that's like very important for just societal and mental health.
Yeah. Otherwise, everyone's just locked down watching Instagram.
It's not good for you to be inside without substantial sunlight. Like if I was locked down to my own home, I have a balcony. If I was locked down to my own building, I have a rooftop.
Yeah.
But like quarantine is pretty serious, and it's really hard to give people the correct amount of like sunshine and vitamin that they need during that time.
Yeah. And you think about, like, say, London. If you're
London.
renting.
Oh, not say London. Like say, yeah.
Oh, I hate you sometimes. So,
I couldn't help
um,
myself.
like, think about renting something in London on a normal person's budget. You think you got a
Yeah.
balcony?
Yeah. No
You
way.
think you got a window? Most probably you don't. Like, that must suck so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poland is locked down,
Poland is locked down. Jeez.
but trampoline parks are open. I don't know, but
I don't know how I feel about like if you're in lockdown, being able to go to a tramp. I guess I'd have just restricted numbers and sterilization. It's like I think more importantly than lockdown necessarily is systems. Like you want to have just sterilizing systems in place and like checks, you know, make sure nobody's coming there sick. Do temperature checks on the way into the building. You know,
yeah.
sanitize. Everyone must sanitize. But everyone, you know, if you're going to these things, just follow the regulations. Don't be a douche.
It says that you're allowed to go outside in Germany with one other person, but they're asking you not to. So then it turns into a cultural stigma.
Excuse
like-
me, Germany. You're not allowed to be oppressive.
Oh,
That's
so you know
inappropriate.
what they're doing down here? So we have
Yeah.
a government app, and you have to do a QR code into every building you go into. You got to scan in.
I pretty much do that anyway, though. Like every building that I enter right now, I scan some QR code to sign into the check system in New South Wales.
Oh, really? So New South Wales has that as well?
Yeah, I mean, not literally everywhere, but pretty much everywhere that
Yeah.
I've like been to, except for like maybe like anywhere where they serve food and beverage for sure.
Right.
Just not like maybe like a news agency or shit. They don't care.
No, so now we have it. Now we have it down here that it was food and beverages last week. Now it's every place. And I live like a minute away from the main shopping street in Adelaide. And so people are doing Christmas shopping and there are lines just to scan the fucking code.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
you'd think they'd be able to print out more codes, hey?
Oh, he's so funny.
Just sprint them.
No, there are. There are like 5 or 6.
Oh,
And
it's just not enough. Okay.
No,
fair.
yeah, everyone's
thing
just
is-
out.
It takes, like, if it works well, it still takes 15 to 20 seconds per person to fill it all out. So, like, it is banking human traffic no matter what,
Yeah.
because it's just, you know, in modern day society, nobody just stops 15 seconds. Not like, you know, if a group of people stop
Everyone
15
wants to
seconds,
get-
that builds a bank.
Get it in.
Get it in, Jarran. Get it in them, light.
You know who's profiting brand-wise from it is fucking Apple. Like, literally Apple are like, oh no, we're going to be really safe, and you're going to have to wait outside in a line for up to 15 minutes. Or probably minimum 15 minutes. You're just going to wait there, you're going to make a line, and people are going to see that line, and then they're going to associate exclusivity with Apple.
Fair.
Apple doing Apple shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't have made that association if you didn't announce it personally. So.
Really? You'd just be like, oh, look, there's a
They
line
have
in
to
front
wait
of you.
outside because COVID.
No. Like, they were doing that when no other stores were. Even when all of the restrictions got taken away, they're like, no, you know what? COVID, be safe. And make a line out the front of our store.
Always. Well, the one in Sydney had like a bunch of really like big security. Like they had like nightclub security guards work because obviously that's who's work security in Sydney. But they just like were way too like. Imagine going to the Apple store. This 6'4" guy's like, oh, check your ID, thanks, mate. Yeah, saw it in there. You're like, don't hurt me. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to buy an iPod. I like music, man. I know I've only had 3 drinks today, like, but I thought that didn't matter here.
So Jan asks for a COVID update with Australia, and I don't have any information.
Doesn't exist. It's a conspiracy down here, mate. They just
Let's go and do the
we just basically
internet.
shut everything, and then no more COVID. We're not allowed out or in. But that's actually because all of the actors that are hired to make Australia look real are actually on holiday right now. It's actually connected, you know. Basically, they're like, you know what? If we give you guys this conspiracy theory that is COVID, I'm being sarcastic in case someone wants to cancel me for that. Oh, I want to ask you a better question. How long do you think before you get cancelled for making jokes about Germany and Germans? Because like they're like, you know, at a certain point, German people would, you know, when they jump onto cancel culture, and then you can't be like, bro, German jokes.
Wait,
German jokes are still pretty safe, I reckon. You know what I mean? If you're a comedian and you did like racial humor, you could hit German jokes.
I drink lots of beer. Oh yeah, schnitzel is good. Like yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah. But don't, you know, as long as they don't rise up against any other countries, you know, just
be cool, German guys. But not too cool, you know?
Like let's see what I mean. Like, I feel like that's not a cancelable joke. But like, you know, if I was to make that against most cultures these days, just cancel.
I'm sure they'll get there.
Yeah. So how long do you think? I reckon like 25 years.
25?
So like
no.
2045. They'll be like, hey,
that is not okay.
Things go way too fast for that.
You make
like
a joke of my accent. That is so offensive.
I say that if you said the wrong joke now, you could almost get.
Oh, 100%. But I guess, yeah. But it's like a very insensitive culture because they're awesome.
We have 8 new cases in the last 24 hours.
But 908 deaths in the last 24 hours?
No, that's overall.
Oh, okay, we're killing the game. Still in triple digits.
Yep.
Actually, so like, you know, to add a hint of realism to everything, I did actually have a friend's uncle who passed away.
Oh, really? Like in Australia?
Yeah, AB.
Really?
Yeah, I won't go any further into who that is. That's just so you knew. But yeah, he, you know, he said it was pretty tough because it was during when everything was kicking off, and then he's seeing a lot of stupid stuff online.
Yeah, of course, because
like,
everyone's
just
personal
when it gets to that level. Like,
well, I've never seen it, so it can't be true.
Yeah.
So I'm not attached to the 900.
Stupid mentality, man.
Yeah, of course. What did I see today?
I can't see gravity, but I still believe in that shit.
Do you, though?
Yeah, it's right there.
Wait.
That's not seeing gravity. That's seeing gravity's effect on the object, okay?
Yeah.
Really? You want to go there, Mister?
I shouldn't have done that because it doesn't make any sense for a podcast when I drop something on a camera.
About as much sense as it makes me eating things so that people can hear my voice while I'm eating things.
Oh, no. Don't worry, because it sounded like you're on the top of a mountain for the whole thing. You're been
really far away from my microphone the whole time without guarding it.
No. It's the fan.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, all the fans are watching, you know. Oh, you mean, yeah. Yeah.
Little click snaps.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Click snaps for the
getting worse.
Yeah.
So
someone
screw you,
dabbed.
Joe, because you're just making so many lulls in conversation. He still hasn't at me.
Well, these kids these days and their stuff, like.
That's all right. Next week we have a way more reliable guest lined up, Alfie Green.
Is Alfie actually coming on?
That. Yeah, bro.
Mr. Green.
He's gonna be on the show. And I think, but that one, no. The week after that, I think, and the first week that will be on Patreon, I believe, where you have to stream it on Patreon, will be with ideally Nate Weston talking about Skull Chatter.
Wow. That's
so that
cool.
way, I'm trying to do the first things that I do on Patreon a little bit more like bush for people. So like that one, I'll actually have like, you know, we'll be talking about Nate and something he's done and offering insight into something that you guys will have context for.
And then ask questions to Nate Weston.
Yeah.
Be like, hey. But
also, I think for those regular viewers, we may switch up the timing slightly, depending on, because if Jarran and I posted an hour earlier, we can also do it for an hour longer, and we may extend the time of the conversations that we're having. I'm just clearing this with Jarran now. I actually haven't told him, but you know.
Oh, I have no feelings or thoughts either way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of the podcasts have naturally kind of run further into time, and I
No,
feel
well,
like
that's the thing is that we're starting to go further into time, especially when we do have a guest and we're not just talking
one
shit.
that shows up. You know what I
Talking
mean?
trash.
Not one that Joes up.
Oh.
Coin the phrase, guys.
Puns.
Take it.
Puns.
Yeah. Also, just like give him shit on his most recent post and be like, "You missed Dom's podcast." Basically, the relationship I have with him is mostly shit giving and shit receiving. So if you guys can jump onto that, love it.
You're gonna be like Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez. Yeah.
I really hoped you were going to say Kanye West, because
No.
I'm definitely the Taylor Swift to the Kanye West that is Joe and my relationship.
I didn't think about. Wait, is that what they did? They got their fans to fight it out?
No, but he went up on stage when she was getting the award and being like,
Oh,
so, and then
I
like
remember
the fans like don't like each other because of that. And also because I look like Taylor Swift.
You mean prissy white girl? Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Look
Has
at
your
this
hair grown out? Can you now do a
Not fully. It's very close.
hipster man bun?
I can give you it's like a pinky bun.
Wow.
So there's like about 55 strands of hair I was counting the other day that tie back into the knot. And yeah, just look out when you get up, Jarran, because I'm about to drop some knowledge, but you can tuck your hair behind your ears. And then, not you, but like when your hair grows certainly, you can just tuck your hair behind your ears and it doesn't go in your face. Because my ears are like super grippy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro, I got like fucking mad alligator skin for ears.
That's not nice to say. No, I just completely forgot what we're talking about.
All right, we're just talking about how I have alligator skin for ears, so it really wasn't important.
All right, no. We were going back to the other thing. So Taylor Swift has like, I think her followers are called like Swifties. What are Kanye West followers called?
Westies or Kanye's, because they're like Kanye. You're welcome. I definitely pre-thought both of those. They don't, like, you know, I mean, I had them written down in this book here. It's like jokes for the podcast. Thanks for setting that up, Jarran. I'm glad that was the depth of it, because I really didn't want to talk about Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez's whatever thing happened, because it was like not on my spectrum of entertainment.
I don't even know.
Let's move on, because bleh.
Yeah.
Celebritism is the worst. It's almost as bad as influencerism.
I don't know pop culture at all. I just know that some people fight with their fans.
Saturday listens to this interesting podcast. I think it's Outspoken podcast or something like that. But it's like these 30-year-old sisters, women, friends. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't listened exactly to who they are, but I like listening to them chat about shit. But they talk a lot about like the influencer world and the influencer thing, and it's an interesting world that is being developed through social media in that way. Almost as questionable as celebritism, like, you know, when people are doing the fame icky stuff too. Just why is it got to be also like grabby, look at me, doey, and then also just virtue signaling, doing things, saying it's one thing and then it's really just a proper thing and stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing? Just like,
yeah, of course.
You want
to grab that clout.
Or that money, son. Like
the clout for the money. Clout for the money. You want that
for the money. Get a mention, yo, bola. Check me out. Selfie. Aviators. What? Stay real. That's all my advice is. Story got it right. That's their tagline.
Who?
I'm like, yeah, I can respect that. Stay real. Keeping it real. 10.
Who?
Star.
Oh, really? That's their thing?
Yeah.
He's 10.
Yeah, so they were like established 10. And then their thing is keep it real, keeping it real. One or the other. But yeah, do that. Let's go to some questions from the audience, because Jesus Christ, I'm so disappointed in Joe.
Yep. There actually aren't any questions from the audience. Oh no, here's
Actually.
one. Here's one that we have never answered before. Dom, what were your job before parkouring?
So my first job, I was a receptionist at Fitness First.
Was that
It was fun.
where
I
your mum
found I had
worked?
what?
Is that where your mum worked?
Yeah, so I got the job because my sister already worked there, and my mom was a personal training manager there. So it was just like, boom, I can get a job easy. It was good. Found I had a general knack for learning people's names and faces. Really, like put a name to a face really well, and so I could tell people, I could say members' names when they walked in the door before they scanned their card. So that way it was more personable. Um, then I worked in retail for like 2 weeks and I hated it. And then I worked as a laborer on a construction site, built a house, or like a percentage of townhouses in Winfield. Um, and then I worked as a professional dancer in a breakdancing crew as their like flip guy. And then I worked on the garbage trucks, which is probably the most well-known previous job that I had, where I was a garbage man. I ran on the back of the trucks and chucked shit in the back, and that's what Jarran and I used to do together for employment. So Jarran and I worked together for like what did we do, like a year?
Like a year and a half, 2 years?
Year and a half, yeah. Oh yeah, almost 2 years, right? Because I was like ended up leaving around the same time.
Well, what happened is that on the second year, I went over to Germany for 3 months. You were
And then we
doing
did,
For the Love of Movement. It's
and then I
like
did my Redbull Athlete. Yeah.
that's
So we were back and
basically
forth
when
between
Dom
the
went
two.
off to be international.
Yeah, mate. And then we made the dream, just living the dream now, sitting here talking to each other on the screens, being like, hey, man, good job.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
now,
so that's all previous employments.
you're Dom, and you
Yeah.
drink Red Bull.
And jump on stuff, yeah. It's a good
I
one
drink
down
Red
to
Bull
me.
and I jump on stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is another question. What has Dom studied?
That was the answer. Like, did you see that eerie silence at the mountaintop? That was what I've studied. Like, I didn't finish high school. Next.
When did you leave? Did you leave year 10?
No. This is amazing because I'm like fully not like I'm not even legitimately educationally accredited. So I did an ice skating show when I was meant to have my year 10 exams that set you up so you can be like a laborer, blah blah, go to take. I don't have that because they were like, look, basically you don't worry about it if you just stay to year 12 and do your HSC exams, that doesn't matter. And I was like, cool, cool, I don't have to do the exam then. So then I did year 11, cool, did most of year 12, but then I started doing distance education. And then they were like, yo, you have to like finish all this work so that you can do your actual exam. Because I did the trial exams. And then in that period between, they're like, hey, you've got all this work to catch up on. And if you do X amount of work, which wasn't even all the work, it was like 25%, then you can do the exam and finish school. And I was like, we left and I just looked at mom and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, all right. Like, I was just so assertive. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Wow.
I'm just going to jump on stuff. Because like parkour was starting to really like be the main thing for me. Like ice skating had stopped, or was very close to like winding down. And I just kind of knew what I wanted to do by that point. I was like, I just want to jump on shit. There's no real other calling like that I have. So I'm gonna do that. And I always believed that I could make a living doing parkour running. And I think that's one of the other things that really helped me eventually make a career was that I always just believed it was possible. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I always just was trying somehow other than being a coach. Like when I say making parkour and earning a living, I just simply mean making like the day-to-day training with my friends a living. So actually, funnily enough, of all people, Shadeslat reached out to me recently and he said like, I wish I could do like that lifestyle where I just train every day, but if I focus on like training, then like I lose out on like the important stuff of life and blah blah, and that balance, which a lot of athletes struggle with, is hard to manage. And it's like it is a difficult cycle. But especially if you're already an established athlete, or you're already kind of someone who's well known in the community, if you're willing to show like commitment, and you're willing to show consistency, then brands will be willing to work with you. You just have to reach out and start talking to them. And that is something that's really difficult for most parkour athletes specifically to wrap their head around and have their approach, because we're not wired in the way of like, hey, can you give me some money to jump? Like that's just not a like computing thought. But that's something that very much you at a certain stage, like especially someone as seasoned as Shade, can really start to think about his worth, and then start to offer what his worth is to brands and companies. And especially if you can find something that works within your your passions or your area of focus. So if you're someone who does do workout, does do gym, look to getting a gym sponsorship and working in affiliation with a gym, like a lifting gym, or like a big brand gym. Look out to brands that do help with lifting equipment and that sort of thing. If you're someone who focuses on diet and nutrition, that's like a big deal to you, then focus on that and pump that out there. Like talk to people, talk to brands, sorry, and other creators who work with protein, fuel, blah 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 companies, and then you can look towards sponsorship with that. Not every company is going to be looking for influencers to work with, or athletes to work with. And I think as well, if you're a parkour training athlete, you're probably wanting to look to brands to work as an athlete, because even if you have a substantial following on Instagram, an influencer is a very different world, and a very different game to an athlete with a profile. And I think an athlete with a profile is more rare in this day and age, and also it's more genuine than a lot of the influencers. I'm not saying they're not genuine people, but the profile is more organic, and it's followed more for the clear passion of what someone does, as opposed to the way they look.
Yeah. I think influencer will become much more of a dirty word than it already is.
Yeah, for sure. I see it going that way.
It would just be like, oh, you're an influencer, huh?
Yeah, I go by athlete as profession. I do not go by influencer.
Yeah.
I mean, athlete, as much as there's been ups and downs with what an athlete is, athlete remains pretty true as like what a profession is. This is what you do as an athlete. Like, you perform as an athlete.
Yeah. People know exactly what you mean when you say athlete.
Yeah, and there's no, like, the implication is very clear, and there doesn't seem to be like that negative association that some people use with influencer, which I personally am like, if you're an influencer, that's great. Like, I think that's really good for you. To me, it means that you're like a creative that found a way to freelance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, because essentially most people, especially work, if you're an Instagrammer, it is freelance work that you're getting. It's not, you're not getting paid by Instagram.
Yeah, of course. All right, so how's this for a question?
Hit me.
What's the story behind your first flip?
It's really hard to quantify what defines my first flip. When I was doing gym as a kid, I don't ever remember flipping on the floor. I maybe flipped into a pit, but I don't think they actually taught me how to flip, because I learned how to round off and back handspring was being spotted, but I didn't actually learn how to do a salt of any kind. So I don't consider that to be my first flip. But then I did do, when I was 13, when I was doing ice skating training, we just went to like a gymnastics center once as like a group of ice skaters, and I could do round off back. I could just do it. Like, I knew how to round off, and I just used the block, and my confidence just sent me over for the back. So I could just do round off back flip on the floor, and it was kind of like fine. Like, I was okay. Like, it was, I don't remember it being too hard. But then I didn't do flip for like 2 or 3 years before I found flies. I was like 12 when I did it, and then like didn't do one for like 2 or 3 years, so I was like 15. And then I stood on a fence. It was like essentially like a rail, like it's a wooden peg that's got a semicircle. They have heaps of fences like that in Australia. And I just like stood on it and I could barely balance properly. And then like just kind of as I was getting my adjusting for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then just hugged it. And I just used to hug them like a layout. So I used to throw my head back and like reach over and let my legs like whip after me, even though they were bent and stuff. But you know, it worked. Yeah, I didn't really like learn the proper way. I did everything through like feeling and intuition, and then got tips way later in training. And they're like, no, that's wrong. Fix that.
But you could do flips on ice.
That took me like another year of training flips.
Oh,
So by the time
you
I
were
was
already
like
training
16,
flips.
yes, so I learned how to backflip, and then from the guy like that I did my first backflip with, he could already do a standing backflip because he'd learned to flip it like a jumping pillow, which is like a bouncy castle, but only in the floor, like a big floor one. They just can bounce on it, and so he learned to flip there, and then he could do one on the ground. So he was just egging me to do one on the ground, and then I eventually got it down to ground level, and then we tried them on the ice with ice skates on, and I put a hole in my leg.
Really?
Yeah, I have a scar on my calf there. You can barely see it, but you can. I put the heel of my skate through my calf. So like one leg came down and the other leg came down on top and hit the heel of the boot and just dug like trying to put my calf out. There's a video online. If you type in Dom Tomato backflip unsuccessful, it should come up. It's like a really low quality 36-second video. And you can hear me scream. Backflip. Unsuccessful.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say good luck spelling unsuccessful.
I didn't even put an F in there.
You definitely put too many S's. No, that's
Shut up. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube, Jarran. I know you Googled it. You really are tired, aren't you?
Hey, when you get to my age,
you're failing at Jamieing, bro. Be better fingers. And just type in ice after, because that might specify it better.
let's see.
Second one.
Look at those pixels.
So you can't even see me do it properly, but we did it side by side, and then I'm on the right there. He was just screaming and shit, blood pouring everywhere. It was great.
I can't stop. Just sit there.
He's like, get up. I'm like, I can't stop. How dare you? Yeah. There's a big hole in my leg. It was like the first time I ever had like a big puncture or crushing thing, and I was like, ah!
Yep. That sounds...
The only thing I really remember from that was like noteworthy is that my ambulance driver looked so much like Russell Peters that I got a picture with him because it's like literally a lookalike of Russell Peters.
Oh, yes.
Insane. Like, insane.
Do
Totally
I need
relevant.
to now look up who Russell Peters is? Because
You don't need to, you can do that in your own time.
I
Russell Peters.
So here is the other question about careers. Do you think it would be possible to mix a physics career with parkour?
Janis Schauer. Janis Schauer has a degree in physics.
Oh, really?
I don't know exactly what, but he's incredibly smart, like in that sense. Like he knows physics.
Wait, is
he's
that
physically and physically smart.
Is that like Alex Schauer's?
Janis, no, that's a silly question. It has two N's in Janis. How dare you?
Hey, you just type things in and you find it, all right? So
No, unacceptable. So this guy, who I may have featured his video, if I haven't, that's stupid. He's the best. I didn't say many bests. I said Ed was close, but I think Janis is probably the best. He can do everything, and he's like sliding down. He's like doing stuff that no one else is doing. Always. He's always like 2 years ahead of what the trend is.
Is this the guy that slides on things.
Yeah, the side flip to slide rail. We
Right.
featured that, right?
So I just watched the Jimmy the Giant thing on the
Where he calls him Janus. Oh my God. People need to contact Jimmy and just let him know that German people that start with J is ja. Just like the word ja is not ja, it's ja. Like,
yeah.
they don't say anything like ja. They say ja. Janus, Jan, because he's like Jan's flipping four. I'm like, oh, your British, whatever that is, ignorance stifles me.
That's that's
Hit me.
it's really cool that he is doing this from a physics perspective, because obviously you would be doing it from a physics perspective.
I don't know how much you can really apply physics to parkour, man. Like, you can't really, like, you can do the math for after, but applying it in the moment it's a totally intuitive thing. I don't think you need to be that smart to do parkour.
No, I think
you
it's
need
like
to have good instincts.
I think it's like having an innate physics like intuition, and then taking that.
Yeah, definitely a subconscious knowledge. I mean, that probably makes sense as to why he can do the things he can do.
Yeah,
Like,
not doing
figuring out how slides on rails work, you know, and then like making that staple for what you do. But I also think it would make him very logical in the way he breaks shit down. I've only trained with Giannis a very few times, and I've never seen like the spectacular side other than his complete control of what he's doing. I haven't seen him do anything like that level in person, which I would love to see, just what his process is and what, you know, the breakdown is. But it's weird with a lot of the professional guys. It's so dialed in that it's simply like, I think this will work, and then they just do like some of the parts to make sure their body feels good. And if you're like Paulo Tavares, you don't even check if your body's good. You just know that it is, and then you go and do it. It's like, okay, like, I see, I do. If I don't make, I try again. Like, it's so dialed in at that point, like 14, 15 years deep of training. It's more of an intuition than it is a thought out process. So that was good. All right. Well, thanks for nothing, Joe. That's been our show.
Yep. That's our show. But we need to answer this question because it's hilarious.
Okay.
Do you utilize the
Last
Wim
question.
Hof method in your training?
The what?
The Wim Hof method.
I don't know what that is.
Cold exposure and breathing work.
Oh, no. I don't fuck with temperature at all, bro. I avoid going to places where it's winter. I spent 5 years just avoiding that and just doing summer around the whole globe because I don't even like the cold a little bit. I won't do ice baths. I won't do none of that training.
Ice baths are the best.
Stop it. Stop spreading
good.
lies, Jarran.
Yeah.
Stop spreading dirty lies about baths that are cold.
All right. Well, that is the show. We will have Joe's one day. But Alfie Green next week.
Alfie Green next week, and then we're going to move to the Patreon. So be ready for that, people. That is happening very soon.
Oh, so next week is last of the year. Because we're in December.
So what's next week's Monday okay, so Alfie's, so I think if we can get Joe for the last show of the year, that would be great. But if not, we'll figure out what we're doing for New Year's before we do the one on Patreon. 2 weeks left. So next Monday will be the 21st, and then it'll be the 28th.
All right, cool.
And then we'll launch on the other one on the 1st on a Friday. We'll still be doing the podcast on Monday. So
sweet.
bye.
All right, thanks guys.
What's up?